Hello and welcome to Boat Wreck. My name is PJ, and today I'm going to be doing a live commentary on episode 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks called Cupid's Errant Arrow. Now, like we did last week, I got to say that the Crave version of this episode does not include the CBS logo at the beginning. It simply starts, whether that starts with a cold open or in this case, the opening credits. So if you want to cue it up past the CBS All Access or the CBS logo. I've never seen the CBS version, but I've been told the times will not exactly match up. But if you're watching the Crave version, this episode will simply start from 0 at the opening credits. So we'll just jump right into it right away and start Cupid's Errant Arrow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening credits. Now, of course, there will be moments of awkward silence as I watch this episode and try to absorb things. I did watch this episode twice. The first time I watched it was a little bit sleepy, and then I, got some caffeine in me and watched it the second time. So this is my third viewing, and I've managed to catch a few references. Don Lewis, syncing up with the credits here now. Jerry O'Connell, Fred Tatasciore, Gillian Vigman. And by the way, after this is over, I will just give my thoughts on the episode in general. Created by Mike McMahon. The episode is starting now. First episode without a cold open. Cupid's Errant Arrow. Boimler's log. The Cerritos is in orbit around Mixus 3 to assist in a controlled demolition of an unstable moon. We get the Parliament-class ship Vancouver. And of course, this show is actually produced by Titmouse Animation. They have a studio in Vancouver where the show is produced. So that's a nod to the animation company, I guess. So this is another ship that looks like the Cerritos, except I think the Vancouver actually probably looks a little bit better. My family has lived on that moon for generations. Then they got the conspiracy theorist guy. It's just all sitcom dumb comedy because, as we find out later, why didn't the captain know who lived on the other planet? But we'll get to that. So I guess a month ago was in between here and the last episode, maybe. Hopped up Q on Captain Picard Day. That's a lot of amusing lines. Nothing really laugh out loud funny in this episode or in the last 1 or 2 episodes, I believe. It's all just, amusing. It's okay. Tandy and Rutherford back together. I like that. I like their little B plot. I mean, it's cute. It's not fantastic or anything. It's fluidic processors just replicate their own silica. Wow. So in 2380, T88s are the new iPhone of the time. I love that USS Vancouver, Parliament class Canadian ships. I like how Mariner points out, this is all just a copy of the last ship. It's like what they do in the actual live action shows. It's usually a sister ship, so they save on budget. so you have to build an entire other set. They've done it in Discovery, TNG, TOS. So part of the reason Mariner doesn't believe that she's for real is partly because she doesn't think Boimler's all that and can get a nice girl. But at the same time, she has some kind of traumatic memory we're going to get to later. Well, by the way, that when we get to that flashback, the timeline doesn't make any sense. But anyway. See, so she's from a ship that goes on like the big adventures, like traveling back to 1920 Chicago. And there's also another Chicago reference, I believe, later in the episode. Oh, poor Bradward. Oh yeah, don't censor goddamn, but censor shit and all these other curse words. I don't know the bleeping in this. If they've already gone all the way with the cursing in Star Trek, just I don't know. Sometimes the bleeps work and are funny, and sometimes they totally cover over a joke, or like I don't get a joke because I hear bleep bleep bleep. Bradward. I've never heard that before. Bradward. See, it seems a little suspicious how she's sniffing him and stuff, like, but you kind of want to believe that maybe she's just genuinely attracted to him. Mariner's on the case. The way this guy is drawn, he looks stressed out already. It's like kind of a clue as to maybe he's not all there. She smacks him. Kirk Sunday with Trip Tucker sprinkles. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. She's trying to do push-ups. Salt Succubus, reference to the man trap. Reference to Justice from TNG, season 1. Oh my god, this is great. DS9, baby. I never thought I'd see DS9 in this show. So she's referencing Descent, which happened in like 2369 or 70. So 10 or 11 years before the events of this show. And the uniforms are wrong, unless she's referencing something that happened a couple of years ago. But yeah, I like how we're seeing the First Contact era uniforms, or the TNG movie era uniforms. There's some pretty cool animation here. Shows you what animated Trek can do that would cost way too much in a live action setting. So all this negotiating mumbo jumbo and like how it all works out in the end is just so dumb. But I guess they're just making fun of those arbitrary, petty arguments that different planets in the solar system have when a disaster is happening. So okay, anyway, later we find out this guy he's only living there with his wife. So he's being totally self-centered and selfish about the whole thing. But it's all about how the captain overlooks the fact that there are only two people on that other planet. But then again, do they consider like other life that's probably not intelligent? I don't know. Probably thinking too much about it in terms of an animated series. So of course, Boimler is being incredibly insecure, and he has to mess everything up and act like an idiot. And I thought the thing about this episode was going to be like she genuinely liked him for who he was, and now that he's trying too hard, she doesn't. She loses her attraction for him. But there's a whole thing at the end that's not about that at all. Yeah, this is okay. I mean, it's Tandy and Rutherford having fun with the tools and that they're using, and he's imagining being loved by his peers for having one of these devices. I just want them to hook up already. Okay, man, you have a lot of reference here. You have a reference to Dolphin, the 1011 episode, the Romulan from TNG, the Salt Succubus from the Man Trap. God, you could just go over these episodes 2 or 3 times just to catch all the references. That's hilarious. That's probably visually the funniest thing in the episode. It's just like an amalgamation of just different styles, and it just looks like garbage. Yeah, weird. Weird Boimler. Oh my god, he fucking moonwalks. Oh, how lame can you be, Boimler? I think Boimler's cool when he's like doing his thing and enjoying himself in terms of like doing operations on the ship. But the second he tries to be something he's not, he just totally messes up. She's like, "What the fuck?" She said the F word and it got bleeped out. That's okay. But don't cover over jokes. If you bleep it and then you can't quite make out what the joke is, just don't bleep it. I can understand like the F words and stuff, but like there's some joke later in this episode that I don't get because anyway, we'll get to that. It's kind of a shame. It's like Boimler, no girl would think you're sexy. I mean, I've seen very attractive women with nerdy dudes who some people would be like, "Why is she with him?" And I'm like, maybe they just like each other." Ever think of that? Geordie LaForge teddy bear, or just I guess visors like that are common for certain blind people. That was funny. He's like, "Do you think it'll fit?" Hey, the humor's okay. Very hard to have some kind of sitcom actually make me really laugh hard. Actually, Blunt Talk, the first episode of Blunt Talk, when Patrick Stewart's in the washroom trying to wash his hands, for some reason, like, cracks me up. Perhaps from now on she's going to just keep calling him Bradward. Yeah, this is where you find out this guy's like off. He's like, I tricked you into transferring over here. That's a very dishonest thing for me to do as a Starfleet officer. I like they're showing this map. You could freeze frame. Trek yards are probably gonna make use of that frame of the any schematic that they'll see. They'll usually like talk about it. She keeps saying Bradward. She's like, oh no, Bradward, Bradward, Bradward. Yeah, kind of that joke kind of lost its appeal after a while because it was in the trailers and they're so familiar with it. Taking a lover, making love to my lover. Oh, Boimler, you're so weird. So we know that Mariner's protective of Boimler. Perhaps she may have a crush on him. Maybe I thought Mariner would get with Ransom. They're not really developing those things. They're not really going that. They're not leaning that hard in the serialization of the characters just yet. I don't think. Oh my god, he's diabolical. And he's a psycho. Yeah, that makes sense. An admiral being a psycho. Yeah, makes sense. Cat fight. It's a pretty brutal fight, though. I mean, so there's the flip side. She's like, I can't believe you're friends with him because he's so lovable and you're so abrasive. I guess. But it's kind of sad how it turns out that she didn't really like him. So I guess that, I don't know, kind of emphasizes the fact that maybe Mariner likes him, or I don't know if they're going to be good friends or lovers or what. I mean, she has seen his Johnson, his schwanz, so both of us, yeah. This is why you're not captain of a Vancouver or a Parliament ship, Captain Freeman, because you overlook these small but very important details. We just redid the floors. So, like, there was a whole couple of episodes that we missed where Boimler meets her and they go on dates and stuff. I mean, it's happened a month ago. Since the show began, I mean, a few months have passed, I believe. So, I don't know. This joke right here. You wouldn't have let him blank in front of the Admiral. Come on, just tell me what it is. Don't hide the jokes. So the whole thing about this guy is that he can't handle being on the big adventurous ship that does all the very important missions like time travel and working on the Dyson sphere and all this stuff. So epic. Go back in time and kill the guy that was worse than Hitler. Yeah, screws you up. Yeah, it's like if you think about it, going through so many epic adventures on a ship would just kind of wear somebody out, or some people wouldn't be like they wouldn't be made for it. Ooh, blackmail. Ah, yeah. Love. Oh God, it's so weird. It was always me, Barb. I'm gonna treat you to dinner. I couldn't understand that before without the subtitles. Yeah, you would because you're gonna. Uh, does she break up with him because she's in love with the parasite now? She's like, yeah, it wasn't you. It was this little creature. So I'm just gonna like study that for a while. Probably hook up with the thing, or I don't know. Poor Boimler. I feel so sorry for that guy. Huh? That smoky smell. Yeah, yeah. They stole a bunch of things. I mean, this is probably yeah, it's over now. So this is probably the least my least favorite episode, although it's not like terrible or anything. Um yeah, just kind of leaves me with a sad feeling at the end knowing that a guy like Boimler uh is just always going to be kind of like portrayed as a loser. And I get, I get the whole joke with the parasite. It was really the parasite that made her attracted to him, but it's just sad, isn't it? Though, poor fucking Boimler, man. But I did like the fact that we did see DS9. It's great. The whole thing with the planet and the moon, and that whole uh, senior officer situation was okay. I think this is my least favorite. I would rank this at the last if I were to rank them. Uh, so far, most of them have been pretty much equal. Um, I don't know. This is the third time watching this one, and I just get a feeling that it's okay. Is nice references, and but I guess both stories, were just mildly interesting. Uh, Looking back on last week's episode, I did like that more. So I don't want to drag this out and really crap on anything, but it's 5 episodes in. I'm becoming familiar with the crew. I like. I would like them to. I don't know what I expect from this show from now on. It's it's interesting, but it's not like spectacular. And I am waiting for that standout like episode that I just absolutely love. But like I said, like when I saw DS9 and the Keto, what that uh, looked like Dr. Crusher's medical ship from All Good Things. Visually, I just love the show from that standpoint. In terms of story and serialization, I didn't think I would say this, but I would like a little more serialization in terms of like character development and relationships, and perhaps, uh, you know, I would like a little more focus on, or a little more attention paid to Boimler, not entirely like shitting on him all the time or having him be the butt of every joke. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. But tell me what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching along with me. And until next time, folks, live long and prosper.